Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Martin with The Contoured Chemist. Today is an introduction to 3D Foundation Day. So if you are brand new to Seint, which was formerly known as Mascara Beauty, then this video is for you. I'm going to be talking about the basics, everything you need to know in order to start with this amazing makeup line. If you want to check it out, keep watching. Be sure to like and subscribe so you see all of my tutorials about this wonderful makeup. As always, thanks for watching. All right, friends, let's jump right on into it. If you are new around here, you might not know my love for 3D foundation. So you might not realize that Maskcara Beauty, so I'm trying to find something with the word mascara on it. All right, so Maskcara Beauty has a line called 3D Foundation, and they recently, like super recently, went through a rebranding. So our new name is Seint. Okay, so everything got even more beautiful, if that was even possible. New compacts, new packaging on everything is being rolled out. So some of the old 10s looked like this, and everything got a makeover. All right, so I'm going to be showing you all about 3D foundation. It is the same formulation, okay? None of the makeup changed. Let me just make that clear. The makeup did not change, just the packaging and the brand name changed for multiple reasons, which I won't get into. If you want to check it out, you can check out, there was a video on IGTV on the Maskcara Beauty. So if you search Maskcara Beauty, it'll still pop up on IG, or Seint Official, which is our website. Okay, so if you are saying, what is this woman talking about? I am gonna just kind of walk you guys through 3D foundation, how it's different, how you can get started, and kind of everything you need to know. But I'm gonna try not to talk too much because I tend to do that. So I just got one of our brand new compacts. Oh my gosh, I've been waiting for a black compact since I started with this company over 3 years ago. This is the Big Kahuna Triple Decker. It will hold your full face and more. And if you are a beauty junkie or you love makeup, this will hold everything you could possibly need. I'm gonna show you how versatile these creams are, and you can literally do your full face just with this smaller one. This is the Hack Stack in the new Midtown, or most people like to start with the mini double decker. Okay, so this one is the new Wish Compact, but I'm kind of obsessed with the matte blacks in the Onyx. So I have the creams laid out here, and I'm gonna drop them in my compact and kind of explain as I go, right? So let's get started. Okay, so if you're brand new, you might not realize everything is cream. Okay, I say that, and yet this isn't. This is a brand new this is a brand new product, and this is a brow wax, but everything is cream, okay? 3D foundation is cream. We do have powder eyeshadows, setting powder, powder illuminators. We do have some powders. We also have a new brow wax and lip scrub and different things, but everything is magnetic, so it comes in amazing, gorgeous tins that you don't want to throw away, and you just slide them out and you drop them in your compact, and they magnetize. And the cool thing about this, these compacts, is that they're completely customizable for you. So if you don't want to contour and you just want foundation, blush, maybe some eyeshadows, you only buy what you need. You're not going to have a bunch of colors in your compact you don't want to wear, because it's everything you choose and everything you love. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of put my full face in here as I go, and I'll kind of explain. So I will show you as I do my face why I use 3 colors of highlight. Now, highlight in mascara, it's gonna take me a long time to not say that after 3 years. In not mascara world, in Seint world, highlight is what you would think of typically as a concealer, foundation, brightener, all of those things, okay? We use different colors for different reasons. You do not need to know how to do that. As a mascara, as a Seint artist, you guys are gonna have to give me benefit of the doubt. I've been doing this a really long time, and it's gonna take me a really long time to call it by the right name. So here you go. As a Seint artist, that is my job. So all you have to do is take a no makeup selfie. I'll link a video below in the description box that shows you exactly how to take the perfect picture, because your picture really is what can guarantee that you get the perfect colors. That and having an experienced artist. I've color matched thousands of women. I can do it in my sleep, I promise. I guarantee my color matches, but you have to send me a well-lit natural light picture in order for me to know exactly what's going on your face, okay? So then from that picture, I will mark up your face, show you exactly where all of these colors go, how to use them. I give a really detailed color match that will explain all of this in great detail. So your first step is just to get color matched. I have a link below in the description box. All you have to do is fill it out, tell me how you like to wear your makeup, any concerns you have, and a well-lit picture, and I will give you every possible detail you need to know to get started. I promise. Okay, moving on. Highlights. So it can be kind of confusing when you're first starting, but I will explain it all in your color match. We use different ones, like I use this as a color corrector, and then I bring this one back down to keep everything matching. And then this is my brightener to add that pop and to bring attention to my eyes, right? Okay, and then 3D foundation is called 3D because we use contour to add dimension to our face. So where we naturally have shadows, we use cream contours. Now, our contours are unlike anything on the market because our contours actually give coverage. So depending on your skin, depending on your preferences, depending on how you like to wear your makeup, this makeup actually doesn't have to be layered, and you can actually apply contour first because it will give you coverage where you apply contour, and then you apply your highlight everywhere else, and you blend it, and suddenly you have a three-dimensional look, and you don't have a flat one-color foundation like traditional foundation. Okay, so I'm gonna add 2 different colors and I'll show you that. Okay, so those are my cream contours. So highlight and contour, and then we have, I'm gonna add a few different options of lip and cheek. So our lip and cheeks are really versatile, and they're also multi-purpose. So they are blush and lip color. We have different formulations, different colors, anything you could imagine. Whether you like glossy or matte or a little bit of glow, we've got those there. And then I'm gonna end with a illuminator. So this one gets people a little bit confused because in Seint world, our illuminator is what gives that little bit of glow to the top of your cheekbone or wherever you want. That one right there is actually a perfume, a solid perfume that actually has an illuminator in it, which again is a great multitasker. We love multitaskers over here. So that one right there is a cream. We also have powder illuminators, which give even more of a pop. We got 2 different kinds of bronzers. So I'm gonna show you how I use our powder and then also our cream bronzer. Got my setting powder, my lip conditioner, and of course that brow wax I showed you, which is a brand new product. And then eyeshadows, like literally any color of eyeshadows you can possibly imagine. I'm gonna kind of show you how I use them and then how you can use some of these other products to actually use on your eyes as well. So I still got lots of room in there, and I still have another whole side, but you can see how you can kind of build your palette depending on what you'll use and what you want, or have different sizes depending on if you want to take one to go. The possibilities are endless. So let's go ahead and get started so I can show you guys how it all works. So I will say our brushes, I can't say enough good things about, okay? They're double-ended and we have a lot. So everybody always asks me, what do you recommend starting with? And for me personally, and I'll explain as I apply, the blush bronzer brush and the detail brush. So one of the things that changed during the branding change is the names of our brushes. So bear with me if I call something different. They've kind of changed a little bit. So this used to be the detail hack. This was the B squared. Anyway, so blush, bronzer, and the detail brush are my two highly recommended brushes to begin with for the foundation. I just want to make a quick note of these beautiful tins, okay, that you saw cover our creams. Don't throw this away. I can't believe how many people don't know this, but they have a purpose. Everything with Seint has a purpose. These tins are designed in the fashion so that they can be used, so you don't dig your finger into creams, and you simply put the lip in between the tins and you pop it out to remove and switch out colors, okay? So I always want to make note of that. If you're new, don't throw them away. Plus they're beautiful, so at least keep one. Okay, so to start with, I always tell people this and they don't believe me, but try the makeup with no primer. The makeup is designed to not be used with a primer, and you won't need one unless you have very oily skin, in my opinion. Some primers can actually lead to some issues, so try it without. Okay, so the blush, bronzer, the detail, and I almost forgot, the most important thing with this makeup is the Perfector sponge. Now, I know what you're thinking, okay, I have a million of those sponges, they don't really do much or whatever. This cream makeup is very different than traditional makeup, so let's just put that out there, okay? If you don't know, traditional makeup is, partially pigment, but it has a lot of water in it. So what happens is when you apply it to the skin, the pigment will stay, the water will evaporate, and that makeup will set on your face, okay? Our faces move a lot during the day, right? So eventually you might have some cracking, some creasing, all of those things, which is very different than cream makeup. Okay, where traditional makeup, some of that gets absorbed in your skin. Cream makeup doesn't absorb at all. It actually creates a layer and it sits on top of the skin. And it's what we call an occlusive agent. So what that means is that it won't absorb, it sits on top, and it actually creates a barrier, and it holds all that moisture in your skin. So instead of that moisture loss during the day, you won't have that anymore. So it gives that glow and that luminosity to the skin. It's incredible if you have dry skin because it's going to improve your skin over time. But what that means is that once you put it on, you can't easily remove excess, okay? It's very easy to get too much because the amount of pigment in this is so much more than actually in traditional foundation. So I find the biggest thing when you're starting with this makeup is learning less is more, okay? And the key to removing excess, if you do get too much, is this. This is the only thing that will pull off excess and press the makeup into the skin so that when we're done, it's actually gonna look like my skin. It's not gonna look like a layer of makeup sitting on top of my face, okay? We are trying to avoid that. And this makeup actually looks like a second skin when you're done, when it's applied properly, and when you're using the right colors, okay? Now that right there is very much key. If you're having issues with the makeup either not lasting on the skin, after a couple hours it just fades away, it's pulling chalky or increasing the look of texture on the skin, those are all signs that this makeup is the wrong shade for you. I find that to be super common if you just jump online like I did when I first started and thought I could color match myself, and I picked out shades and I got them and they were so wrong. So first of all, the color in the 10 looks completely different than the color you'll see online and the color it actually looks on the skin. Okay, this is why there's an artist program, because I've been working with these creams for 3 years, and I will tell you honestly, it took me years to really understand the way all these colors work on the skin. It's not something you can look at a picture and you can figure out on your own. So trust me, you got to kind of trust somebody with your face and let them pick out the proper colors for you, or you're not going to like this makeup, I promise you. Probably 9 times out of 10, you will pick a color way too light. And this makeup, again, not like traditional makeup. If you want to be lighter here, you can't just apply a lighter shade. You have to layer in order for it to last on the skin. So this is why step number 1 is I use a color corrector. Okay. So if you look at my face, you can tell I've got redness through here. My nose is darker. I mean, I'm kind of red like in my T-zone, and then my cheeks. And then I have hyperpigmentation as well, okay? Oh yeah, and blue and purple around my eyes. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna match the darkest tones on my face. So I will mark all this up on your photo, but it is a good practice to look at your face and see, can I tell where's darker? Most people are darker or red around their nose, where they might have broken capillaries, and you don't realize it until you switch to makeup that the color makes that much of a difference. Traditional makeup, you can slap on any color and it can change the color of your skin. With cream makeup, it'll just wear off. So in order to get the best coverage and the best longevity, I use a color corrector. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how very little of these creams you need, okay? Instead of using my brush, which people tend to dip in way too much, I'm just going to tap, okay? I'm just gonna tap and get a thin layer on my finger, and I'm going to dot it on my cheek, okay? And I'm gonna dot it on the high points of my face, okay? Which is, if you don't know, forehead, nose, cheeks, and chin. Okay, now, again, I have darkness around my eyes, so I'm just gonna use my finger, and I'm just gonna kind of use the warmth of my finger, and I'm gonna put that on real quickly around my eyes, and suddenly that blue, purple is gone. Okay, now the darkness around your eyes will determine what color, if you need one or if you don't need one, of a color corrector, but that is your artist's job to tell you what you need. Okay, so now that this color, do you see that is obviously not my color? It's not gonna look like that. The key is a light layer of that color corrector. So I'm just gonna start buffing that on to each area. Okay, this is going to match the darkest tones, color correct my redness. And that way I can then put a color to bring it back down, to tone it down and bring it back down to matching my neck, because this color is too dark for me overall. Okay, now I'm going to look and see, where do I need more extra coverage? I always say buff on a small amount, match your darkest tones, then we can add more and press on more where we need it. So for me, my nose is still a little bit darker. I want to make sure my nose is covered. Okay, so key to this makeup, touch it. Don't swipe, touch it. That right there is more than enough. Okay, I'm just going to buff on a little bit more on my nose. Okay, and then if you need more, just touch it again, and then you can press. Okay. Sometimes I like to press it around here where I've got the most redness. And I'm gonna pick up more with my finger again and just press it right there on that dark spot of hyperpigmentation. and kind of just press it in to blend. Okay, now I feel like my redness is matched. Okay, now I'm going to use my main shade. So that was my color corrector. I'm sticking with the same brush, and the reason I like this brush is because it doesn't pick up too much product. You can easily use it for the buffing step or the pressing step, and it's not gonna lay too much product down when you are learning how much to use. Okay, so now I'm just going to touch it, and now I'm going to press that on under my eyes to bring my eyes back to my skin tone. Touch it. Okay, one more time. Okay, so I did this entire side of my face by barely touching the creams 3 times for reference. Okay, now I already had some good coverage because of that color corrector. But now I'm just trying to even it all out, so I'm bringing it back down to matching. Okay, now I'm just gonna do that lower part of my forehead because like I said earlier, the contour gives coverage. I don't really have anything up here that needs to be color corrected or evened out. I just had this redness through here. I mean, I have hyperpigmentation here. So all those areas, I don't add contour, and I'm just gonna add that highlight in order to even out my skin tone. Okay, so now I'm gonna switch to contour. So if you're brand new to contouring, don't be terrified of creams. They're really quite easy once you kind of learn them. It's all in just application and not over blending. I feel like that is probably the biggest issue because our creams, our cream contours, actually all of our creams, blend out so easily. It's actually sometimes harder because you over blend them, okay? So I'm gonna show you how I recommend picking it up with the brush, which I feel like is one of the hardest things with this makeup, because if you look, our highlights are really creamy. They're almost a little sticky to the touch. They don't feel sticky, but they're just so pigmented you need very little. Our contours are not. They're dry, which is why you can see I have got divots in mine, because the way you pick it up with the brush, you don't want to swipe in or you're going to get almost like chunks on your brush. So I'm going to take my detail brush and I'm going to use it at an angle, and I'm just going to kind of, you see how much pressure I'm moving that entire palette? I'm using some pressure, and look, I obviously have plenty on my brush. If you have plenty on your brush and you can see it and you apply it and then it's like it's not there, you're over blending, okay? So make sure you can see it on your brush. Now we're gonna go in for the cheekbones first, because I feel like that is the hardest part. Okay, we're gonna roll a pencil. You're gonna go from about the top of your ear to where? Right at the corner of your mouth, okay? That's your imaginary line. Now, if you kind of follow that line, that is like the general rule. I have more detailed videos about contouring that you can get into to kind of change your face shape, but we're not going to get into that today. This is just the basics. Start about here, okay? It's going to deposit the most amount of color, which the deep, darkest part of your shadow would naturally be back by the ear, right? So you're just going to hold your brush at an angle, and you're almost going to like cup that cheekbone, okay? But I want you to stop right as you get to the corner of your eye. Can you see that? Okay, if you get in too much here, you're gonna get into your smile line and deepen that shadow, which we don't wanna do. Okay, now the key with contour on the cheekbone is never pulling it too far down. Golly, I picked up a lot more than I actually needed. So you never wanna pull down to blend, okay? I recommend pressing, and I just keep pressing the brush. My gosh, my hair is gonna drive me nuts. Okay, so you see how much coverage that gives? And you just compress and then pull upwards to blur that line. Okay, it naturally blends in some, but you never want to have a harsh line here. So that's why 2 brushes is nice. You can then use the second brush and just press. Okay, now I've been wearing this makeup a long time. I like my contour more defined, but you can wear it as subtle or as defined as you like. If you want it more subtle, just keep pressing along that line and it'll blur it out without blending it all away. I don't want you to go like this. It's just gonna disappear and you're gonna be like, my contour doesn't show up. I promise you, it will show up. I can wear almost every shade of contour except the lightest 2 we have, and those are for like snow white skin, okay? So if you have any other ones, I promise you can wear them. Okay, let's repeat on the other side. A little bit faster so you can see. Just gonna press it on, keep pressing, keeping it high, not pulling down, which will draw your cheekbone down. Flicking up. This brush, I swear, makes all the difference in the world. When I have somebody that has difficulty contouring, they pick up this brush and I promise it makes your life easier. Okay, so now the forehead, I'm gonna show you a different color. So this is Astoria. Remember, I have redness here. Astoria is a cool contour. So if you use a cool contour over your redness, it's naturally gonna pull a little warm. Can you see that? Because I naturally just have redness under it. So it's kind of the nature of applying a color over it. You want to stick with a cool tone so it doesn't pull too warm, too orange. Okay, now I'm going to use a neutral contour, which is indigo, which scares people because it looks so dark, but I promise it's so pretty. I'm going to use that on my forehead and you'll see how much more warm it pulls because it's neutral, meaning it has more warmth in it. Okay, now the forehead's pretty easy. Just go along the hairline. Again, anywhere you contour is totally personal preference. You don't have to contour your forehead. If you have a cute little short forehead, you don't need one. Now I have a big forehead, so I tend to go down a little bit to kind of shorten this way, and then I pull it down into my highlight here to shorten that way. And can you tell? Then they kind of match up because, again, I had warmth here. You don't have to match. I totally wear all the time. I wear just one shade, but I wanted to show you the kind of the difference of warmth versus cool on me. I'm gonna go back to Astoria and I'm gonna go right under my ear first, where again, the shadow would be the darkest, and I'm going up under my jaw. And I'm just defining out my jaw. And then I'm gonna pull it down my neck to blend so everything stays matching. Okay, I'm gonna do a really, really quick nose contour. Okay, I'm literally going into the gray one. On noses, a key is you never wanna use anything neutral or have any warmth to it. We actually have a contour specifically for noses that is the grayest. It's only for noses because so many noses pull red, and you saw how red my nose was originally. So I have to stick with the cool ones. Okay, so I dipped in. I'm gonna rub my fingers together, and I'm literally just going to go down my nose, right where my nose starts curving downward is where you want to contour. Now I got bumps on my nose, so I kind of fudge it right there. Okay, excess I'm gonna put under my lip, make my lower lip look bigger. Okay, now nose contouring totally comes together once you brighten, so be patient there. Okay, I'm gonna pick up another brush This one is now called the Buff brush instead of the Buffy brush. This is my favorite for brightening. So we are going to brighten the face now. So here is where you would use the very lightest of your highlights. And this is what in traditional makeup, a lot of times people just use concealer. They brighten triangles under their eyes, in the center of their face. But this is pretty much that brightening diamond, what brings attention to your eyes. So all I'm going to do is use the small end of the Buff brush, and I'm just going to tap, okay? And I'm gonna go to that inner part of my eye, all the way up to that contour line, and I'm going to brighten right there. Now, where you brighten will depend on kind of your skin. If you have more mature eyes, you wanna kind of steer clear of this area, and you can go just right here into this diamond. I tend to just kind of press it right here and start pulling it down and out, but I don't apply the brightener straight on those edges because that is where I have problem area. Okay, now I did not pick up any more product. I'm literally just pressing, and I like this brush because I can press without pulling at that delicate under eye area, and I'm just pressing outwards, and I'm just kind of going in that little general area. Now, can you tell the difference already? Okay, now this is way too much right now. I would crease in about 5 seconds flat, but we're not done yet. We have still not removed excess. This is not looking like skin. This is looking like makeup in my opinion, but I promise, just hold tight. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing with the other side. And again, I'm going all the way up to that nose contour because that is where actually thins. Your nose is actually the highlight and lightening this, okay? Not the actual contour part. Okay, now I'm gonna go center of the forehead and like an upside down triangle. Now I like this brush as well because you can kind of press it in really well, which again is good for getting that lighter color to not sit in your pores and emphasize texture, because again, we're layering it over those darker shades. We've already matched our darkest shades. Now these will sit better on the skin. If you were to go straight in with this under eye brightener without putting the color of your under eyes down first, it's gonna make your under eyes look much more textured, increasing all of the look of fine lines, and it's going to actually age you. So the key with this makeup is making sure you match your darkest tones first. Now, if you have really naturally light under eyes, which some people do, then you can. It all depends on what color your under eyes are, what color the skin is directly under the highlight you're placing it, okay? All right, so I'm gonna brighten my chin, my Cupid's bow, and then I'm gonna go in and go right down in between those two contour stripes, okay? Now, I like to start blending with my fingers, just to kind of press that in. But we are officially ready for the blending stage. Okay, so as long as you don't apply it super thick, you won't have to use this like crazy. Okay, this is just going to remove the excess, and I'm just going to bounce it over the skin. Okay, I'm pressing it, and this is barely damp. Now, do you see the difference already? I'm gonna keep turning it, so I'm getting that cold part of the Perfector. Before I sat down to do my makeup, I ran it under water, and I was squeezing it until it literally was fully absorbed and it doubled in size. Then I squeezed out as much as I possibly could. Then I wrapped it in an absorbent towel like 3 times and squeezed it out again. And then I let it sit. I let it sit. And I let it kind of air dry while I was talking, okay? So it is not damp. not wet. It is just cold, okay? And you should be able to feel that cold as you use it, and it will warm up, okay? Can you tell the difference of what it looks like when it looks like skin? Okay, now I'm going to press it everywhere, not just there, but where you layered the shades is where you want to use it the most, okay? Because that's the only way to pull up that excess that you used. I'll be honest, guys, I used to think that this wasn't even necessary, but once you learn how to use it properly, you'll never want to do your makeup without it. Now, if I'm traveling and my sponge isn't perfectly damp and I'm in the car trying to do my makeup, I never like the way my makeup turns out. It just does not look the same. It's like magical. Okay, so now it looks like skin. It looks like I'm just naturally contoured and radiant, and I haven't even finished yet. We still have blush. So with 3D foundation, blush is super fun. I'll be honest. I never was a blush person. I think I wore the same color for 3 years before I discovered this makeup. I had like a couple different shades, and I'd wear one in spring and one in fall. And now I wear a different combination every single day. And it is so much fun. And I had no idea what I was missing. So I've got like 3 random shades in here. This is Hollywood, Nude, and Love Spell. Now I'm gonna show you kind of how I layer and how you can layer anything and it looks awesome. Like you probably never would have thought to mix these two. I don't know if I ever have, but I promise I'm gonna love it because I love them all. So Hollywood is a dupe for NARS Orgasm. It's that peachy pink with that gold shimmer, the cult favorite shade. Okay, so I'm just gonna use the blush end again. And this time I'm going to just smile. I'm gonna go to the side of my cheek right there, and I'm just gonna press it on, okay? Again, I have hyperpigmentation. I don't wanna move any of that around. So anytime I'm pressing product, it's because I don't want to move what I placed underneath it. Okay, and I'm going right up along that contour. Your lip and cheek, you want it to kind of all meld together. You don't want a space in between the two. It's how it looks natural. Okay, and then I'm going to top it, and I'm going to top it with Love Spell. Love Spell is actually a mixture of one of our eyeshadows and another lip and cheek, a limited edition shade, and it's one of my faves. And it is a glossy one, so it is gonna add glow. I barely touched this one because I just wanted to add a little bit of warmth because it is a much warmer shade and a little bit of glow to my cheeks. Okay. Now, you can tell I got way more on this side than I did on this side. So I can add a little bit more, but I'm gonna show you how to fix it. So with creams, unlike that traditional makeup that sets, 5 seconds after you put it on and then you can't fix anything, you literally have to wipe it off with a makeup remover wipe. That is not the case with cream foundation. It doesn't set. So anytime you need to fix something, easiest thing is just use your Perfector, kind of pull off excess, or grab any brush, okay? Your highlight brush, whatever you use to brighten, and you can just pull it back to where you want it, okay? It's like a magic eraser. There are no mistakes with cream foundation, okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to skip over one, and I'm going to go back to it. I'm gonna show you Bella Bronzer. So Bella Bronzer is a cream bronzer, and it always scares people that it's cream, but you guys, cream bronzer is the best because it's sheer and it doesn't dull your skin and make it look dry like powders do, and it's buildable. So you can use as little or as much as you want. So there's really no right order. I tend to put it on sometimes after blush, sometimes before. Okay, I already brightened the center, but usually bronzer goes high points of the face. So forehead, nose, cheeks, and chin, just kind of like where my color corrector was. And then down the neck, of course, as well. Keep everything matching, especially if you have a lighter neck. Okay, little goes a long way. You don't have to use a lot. Okay, so we went ahead and bronzed. Now it's the illumination step. So in traditional makeup world, it would be the highlight. This is what adds that shimmery glow, and I love to apply it with the Perfector. So like I said before, I'm multitasking. That is actually a perfume, but it has rose gold illuminator in it. Again, this goes right above the lip and cheek. So top part of the cheekbones, again, they all kind of meld together. Okay. I like to put it behind my ears. I like to put it on my collarbone. You can put it on your wrist, down your nose, under your brows, inner corner, anywhere, right? Okay, what else do we have left? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put a little lip conditioner on. This is our Milk lip conditioner. Pretty much lip balm that fits in here with everything else. So my lips can be moisturized before I do my lips. But I told you guys, creams don't set. So if you want certain areas not to crease, to move, you've got to set them. So I have very aging under eyes. Okay, I'm already getting creasing. So I'm just gonna tap that out with my fingers. If you don't wanna use any kind of powder, you simply go tap, tap, tap in the middle of the day. You might have to do it twice a day, depends on your eyes, and you'll be good to go. I like to just use a small amount of setting powder, and then I don't have to worry about my eyes the rest of the day. I'm gonna use the powder brush. I love this cool end because it is perfectly angled and it picks up the perfect amount so it doesn't age my under eyes. I just simply touch our Vanilla Dust setting powder and I just press it on only where I need it, and I will not crease at all. Now, if you have oily skin, you can press it on. If you get shiny, if you crease here, I just put it where I need it. Now I'm gonna use it on my, oh, I forgot. Did I not color correct my lids? I didn't. I never color corrected my lids. Can you tell how purple they are? Rewind. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna use the Buffy and I'm just gonna tap a little bit of Mango, which was my color corrector. Okay, a little bit of my main shade. Look at that. Back to matching the rest of my face. Okay, and now I'm going to set that because otherwise my eyes are too aging and I'll get creasing. Okay, guys, we're almost done. I put a few different other things in here. What did I put? I put our Cayman bronzer, which you can use as like a setting powder for your contour areas. If you like those matte, if you want them to last longer, all the things. And I also put in a powder illuminator, which if you want more of a wet looking highlight on your cheekbones, I recommend the powder. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips with a contour because our contours are very multi-purpose. I'm gonna go ahead and use Astoria and our multitasker brush. Okay, I'm gonna use that same Hollywood. If you want it more opaque, use the multitasker. If you want it more sheer, use your finger. Topping it with same combo as my cheeks. Love spell. Okay, so I'm gonna do a really quick eye to show you guys how versatile our creams are. You don't even have to use eyeshadows, but I'm gonna show you kind of a couple different ways you can use them. First, I'm gonna do these brows. So our new product is the brow wax. I'm going to grab my stay spray. Oh, I haven't stay sprayed my face yet. I'm gonna go ahead and stay spray my face. So this will give me a dewy look, lock and load it all day, and kind of take away any of that powdery finish. Okay, then we're gonna spray. Brush them up. I am going to use Trust, which is an eyeshadow, to then fill in the brow. I'm going to use our eyeshadow brush and actually Cayman bronzer, which is our light powder bronzer, as an eyeshadow. I'm going to go back to this nude lip and cheek, and I'm going to use that on my lids. Okay, if you're one of those lucky people that do not have oily eyelids, you can stop there. I do, unfortunately. So I'm gonna use a little bit of a similar color of eyeshadow just to set it. And this is Lullaby. Okay, I'm gonna use that powder illuminator to brighten inner tear duct. Okay, and a little bit under the arch of my brows. Okay, and then I'm going to use that eyeshadow that I used in my brows with that multitasker brush again, and I'm just gonna line my lashes a little bit to add some depth. All right, friends, so add mascara or lashes or whatever you like. And we're done. We did our full face with just that. And I've got lots of room to grow. That last one. I hope that helped answer any questions you might have regarding 3D foundation or Seint Beauty, formerly mascara, all of the things. I will add in the description box below all of the deets of everything I used. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. My color match questionnaire request form is also in the link below. If you need me, I'd be happy to be your artist and help you every step of the way. Thanks again for watching. I love you guys.